Um, I don't even know the other name of the band. I know Boston. Terrible, terrible. I just watched these videos 30 seconds ago, so I wanted to do this while I was fresh. Um, all right now, I don't know the name of the band. Boston, but I don't know the name of the song. Oh man, this was one of my. I I enjoyed these a lot. I enjoyed these a lot, Jim. And as I'm speaking right now, I don't know who I'm picking. Let me talk about the videos first. That Boston song is fantastic. I've never seen the video. The lip syncing was a little bit off, but doesn't matter. You guys remember Eddie Murphy in Delirious talking about just be a singer, just be a rock star, and you can get all the pussy you want. Just sing. He goes, because Mick Jagger is an ugly motherfucker with big ass lips, and Mick gets a lot of ass, which I'm sure he did, or dick, or whatever Mick was doing, or both. But this is what that video reminded me of. Those are some ugly motherfuckers. But I guarantee you they just banged whoever they wanted because they just own the stage. They're fucking rock stars. You could look like fucking shit mixed with piss, but as long as you can rock your ass off and just command the stage like they did, that crowd was going crazy. Again, we touch on this a lot. Seeing that is like seeing a fucking unicorn now because the days of crowds just having a good time, not worried about bullshit. That's just done forever, I think. So watching that, even though it's been a year, it just seems so far away and so long ago. So that was great. The song is great. Um, was it the bass player? Sometimes I get confused. One of the guitar players at one point was just strutting, and the drum player, fucking awful hair with with his shirt unbuttoned down to his cockle. Just a shitty bunch of looking. If you saw those guys just bowling at Kingpin, women would run from them. But because they can do what they're doing, it's the complete opposite. So I loved watching that, and I love that song. The other one, what's it called? All Right Now. If I'm in the car, I am listening to the Boston song and probably turning the other song after a few seconds. But holy fuck, the video was amazing. It just sounded like crisp. Um, they had to be 70s. The drummer, were they on stage for like 11 or 12 hours in a row? The drummer looked like he just was on the receiving end of a fucking Bukkake video. Just soaked. Um, and then the drummer, like near the end, was just fucking crushing the drums. That's a fucking drummer. Like, that's the best drumming I've ever seen, ever. I'm not saying he's the best drummer. That's the best drumming I've ever seen. Just fucking like the Regals, hey, just wailing on those drums. He was crushing it, banging his head. That fucking fired me up. So then I'm thinking like, who am I gonna pick? And then the bass player. What's wrong with bass players, Jim? He's just standing there, just doing this shit, and it's the fucking look on his face is like, yeah, can't tell him he's shit, motherfucker. I'm just doing what I'm doing. I love that. Uh, the singer, like you can fucking see his cock come from his pants. Just another example of just guys that just are just looking, but can just handpick whoever the hell they want to bang. So I'm looking at the crowd. I'm like, the fucking studio audience sucks. So I think I'm gonna pick Boston because of the audience. But then near the end, there was this one guy. I don't know if you guys caught it. One guy sitting there just fucking jamming with his head, and that just made me laugh. So I'm picking those guys, and I don't know who they are. All Right Now. That's what I'm picking in a very, very close one. Again, the Boston song to me is better, but that video made that so fun and entertaining. That's what's great about this shit. Seeing videos for the first time, I never would have thought about looking these videos up. But when you're kind of forced to watch it so you can give a review, that was great. I love them both, Jim. You've been on fire lately in my mind. Like all your videos and songs I like, but this one, I mean, these two together might be my favorite Jim submissions. So I'm picking those guys, the All Right Now song. What else about that video? Anything? I think I touched on it all. Then you can see that one of the camera guys at one point doing what he's doing. Like, obviously that's remastered or whatever they call it. But it looked fantastic. It sounded great. So did Boston. And they're both great. But I'm picking this because of the drummer, because of the dude at the end just jamming out while everybody else is sitting there like a bunch of cunts. I'm picking those guys. So that's it. Very good, Jim. Obviously awful news about Tom. Just awful. I mean, there's a guy to me. Sometimes I think about the people that we grew up with, like the adults, the fathers. And Tom, I guess Charlie died last year. That was kind of one of Dad's good friends. But John's still around. Well, not John, but this one was a little different. Tom, to me personally, Mike was like my best friend for so long. And we did a lot of things together. Tom would have us out on Oneida Lake, fishing, trolling. Once in a while, he'd play ball with us in the mall, whether it be wiffle ball or football. Tom and I got into fucking awful, like 11, 12-year-old Bob, mouthing off to Tom. I remember one time specifically in the mall. It was me against Mike, and Tom was, God bless him, Tom was the all-time quarterback between me and Mike. And there was a play or pass interference or whatever. I don't know what the hell it was. But I ended up calling Tom a dummy. And I wanted to call him something worse, but I kind of like caught myself. I remember it was 1982, like summer, fall. So I was 11, almost 12. I called him a dummy. And he looked at me and he said, "Come on, Mike, let's go." I'll never forget that. I never told you guys that, but I don't know. That always stood out as a memory for me. Him always calling me Robert and always saying, "Hey, Bob, hey, Robert, what do you think?" And I remember he used to say, "What do you think?" I'm like, I remember one time I said, "What does that mean?" He goes, "Just anything, talk." I never understood that. He always say, "Hey, Robert, what do you think?" Like if we were out fishing or something. So very sad. Like it sounded like it was a very, very shitty ending. Like he couldn't breathe. Like it's just fucking awful. So I'm very sad about that. And I will reach out to Mike sometime today and message him. Anyways, it just makes you think, and lucky that we still have Mom and Dad, because as much as we hate to admit those days are coming, hopefully it's much later than sooner. But this one sucks a lot, because for me personally, because there's a lot of memories of me, Mike, and Tom when I was just little. Again, and one of the best stories ever is just about Tom, Dad, John, and Jim Shepard they were out on the boat. I don't know if they were in one of those tin cans that could have probably fit 4, or if it was Tom's boat. But I'm sure you guys all remember the story where they were just cruising down the channel in the St. Lawrence, and Tom's hat blew off into the water, and Shep was just laughing his balls off. And the story goes, or whoever you ask, whoever told it, they all told it pretty much the same as Tom, when the boat stopped or whatever, Shep was just laughing, and Hubel ripped off Shep's head. He goes, "Hey, you think that's fucking funny?" And he fucking chucked Shepard's head in the river. And I do remember this part. So what I witnessed was them coming back in, and Jim Shepard, like well ahead of the other three, and Judy was there, and Shep gets to our cottage, and he says, all he said, this is what I witnessed. He's like, "Come on, Jude, let's go," and he just fucking stormed out of there because of what Tom did. Tom was could be an asshole. He could be a wise ass, and Shep got the vintage Tom that day and just left. Tom threw his fucking hat in the water because his blew off and Shep was laughing. Kind of a boss move, kind of a dick move, but whatever. So just thinking about him today, it's kind of shitty. Jim, very good picks. Nothing else is going on, I don't believe. I might hit the casino today. What else? I don't know. That's about it. I'll stop in and check on Dad. I know, Dad was very close to Tom for a long time. The old Buck and Joe show. Remember that shit? I don't know who was Buck and who was Joe or what the hell it meant. Some things just stick in your head. So I'll stop in or call Dad and see how he's doing today. So anyways, guys, have a good weekend and we'll talk to you later.